Hey everybody, welcome back to College Conversation with me, Rick.
And me, Nain.
And this young lady, as most of you may or may not remember, because it's been what?
Way back.
Way back in the beginning, right?
Back.
Over 2
a
years.
year.
Almost. Yeah, almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was one of the very first, I think.
One of the first.
Seventh or eighth, based on Danny's numbers.
She was like the second or third.
This is Risa
Marquez. Our ate.
Ate in martial arts.
Technically, yeah, because we don't have any titles. We refer to the males as kuya, which means like older brother. And ate, of course, is the female version. Mm-hmm. And she is the top female student.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, but we don't have a table in front of us. We thought we'd do a casual talk with Risa here.
Yeah.
And one of the first questions is, what have you been doing for the past year and a half because of COVID?
I haven't been doing as much martial arts as I like, but would like to continue moving forward.
And today was your first day back to a class.
Yes.
How was that?
It was honestly the way that our school system teaches it. All of the knowledge stays within me, so I'm actually surprised whenever we, even without warming up, I actually get surprised how easy it is to tap into like the old arsenal of concepts and ideas and movement.
Huh.
That
I like how she's saying that because it's exactly what it should be, right?
Yeah, instead of just purely technique or drills, it's more so the ideas behind it. So.
Yeah. And dude, we were doing prayer place trap and she kneed me.
Yeah, I saw that.
I
saw that.
Nice.
You actually had to step back to that one.
Yeah, I was really impressed. I was like, wow. And again, folks, because of the way we train and the way we teach things, it isn't about remembering or recognizing patterns. Everything is free flow. Mm-hmm. And today's class especially was all about that free flow.
Yeah. How do you take a structured concept like our exercises? Because there is a sequence to them. That's how we learn them. But eventually, it's individual pieces. Mm-hmm. Then how do you piece them together? And then how was that for you?
I think maybe the first couple years of training, and I think the school, the way that we communicate concepts has changed. It like now is so distilled that the fact that we can take any drill and basically create a letter, like I kind of take the analogy from an alphabet. In order to speak the language of Kali, you'd have to learn individual letters, put words together, and then communicate, and that would eventually be your own style and how you fight.
Wow.
I like that.
That's pretty cool.
She's always been able to explain everything better than we can.
You know what? Yeah.
I hate that about her. It makes us look like idiots.
Because she went to college.
There you go.
She went to college. They wrote a lot of essays.
No, you said this stuff came back to you naturally. I mean, it seemed like it never went away.
Mm-mm.
I mean, what you did today earlier, I was really surprised because you were seeing and doing things that I know you had never done really before.
We never trained.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's maybe because maybe in the subconscious, like these concepts have been there for so long that the nervousness goes away when I meet with you guys, and I've been training with you guys for a while. So I'm telling you, I don't even know. I can't even explain how it goes off sometimes.
See, now
I think it's just because we talk about it so much, like when it comes to understanding, and then the same concepts are iterative and we repeat it, and whenever we train new people, it's the fundamentals are there still intact, nothing changes. So whenever you guys talk now, I think I'm at a level where I don't know, everything just clicks.
It means so much more different than it ever used to. Right?
Yeah, there's deeper meaning. I can connect, I can make points from A to B a lot quicker, just by Yeah, I mean, you guys did a very good job.
We're not paying her to say any of this, by the way. I just want to point out, as usual, this is off the cuff and unscripted.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about what we do, because we really give the students the ability for them to shine on their own merit, on what they actually can and can't do, and they bring that out to us, right?
And the freedom.
To do what they want to do for themselves, and move the way they need to move for them.
At that moment, yeah.
Yeah. Because some of the stuff that she was doing earlier, I was like, wow, this is cool. I got excited just having her slap me around.
Right, because she used her natural lower body strength, and
Yeah,
she even threw
yeah.
that knee in because for her it felt natural. Like, oh, I should drive with this, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
wow, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was a little shocked when they came. I was like, whoa, where'd that come from? I was expecting a punch,
Yeah.
and the leg came up like, whoa. Shit.
Yeah, supplemented punch for a kick or
Yeah.
a knee.
But that's amazing that you recognize that to be the case.
Yeah.
And how it just came out. It wasn't like she had to search for it.
No.
It sounded like a natural movement. Just ba-ba, and then the leg came out like, whoa, that was pretty cool.
So what was going through your head during that time?
I can't even tell you. It's like
I blacked out.
asking
I
someone
blacked out.
how to speak who's been
Speaking forever, right?
like speaking the same language for a while.
Yeah.
Oh
so-
wow.
So it just
It's
came
hard-
that naturally.
Yeah. Not saying that my movements haven't been stiff because I haven't been training in a little bit of time,
Mm-hmm.
but I can guarantee that the understanding is there. So the movements will come after.
Dude, that guy moves all the time, and he's stiff all the time. So
Only because my body's broken.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I think I mean
I didn't say this time.
the best part about this is like when we do the drills or the lessons, it's not necessarily me mimicking someone that's 6 foot tall or
Yeah.
has a different stature than me. Like I have certain movements that I'm tight in. I have certain strengths and weaknesses, and the way that at least for this system that I appreciate is that it empowers me to move regardless of what like movement or what condition my body is in.
Now let me ask you this question,
Yeah.
because this is a loaded question because we get a lot of weird things about this.
Mm-hmm.
When we were first teaching you patterns,
Yeah.
and we all know we hate patterns because we don't stay in them long enough to have them become patterns.
To make significant.
Yeah.
Right? But the fact that we gear you guys to break away from that as quickly as we can,
Yeah.
how does that work for you? I mean, do you, because I've seen you move, like today when this is your first day back from a long
Yeah.
time being out,
Yeah.
and to see you move, it was almost like nothing changed, but things got better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it was
I
weird.
really can't tell you why.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
really weird
really
because
weird.
you were moving like you normally do, but
Yeah.
you were throwing in things that I'd never seen you throw in before, and I was like, oh, cool. You got creative today.
Yeah.
So how does that happen from what you remember from the past to what you were able to do today? That drove me crazy. I'm like, wow, it's really impressive to see that.
It's a weird bike analogy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, because you went from pattern to just free flow, like we want the system to be
Yeah.
unchoreographed.
Yeah, I think some of it comes from anxiety, like the way that I feel prior to coming to practice affects how I move and like how long it takes me to kind of relax. So maybe coming into practice today, I noticed that I wasn't as anxious as I usually was. Yeah.
Okay, wait. Okay. We don't have to talk any deeper into it, but
Yeah.
that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
So, every time you've come into class up until this point, you felt anxiety.
Yeah.
Why? Or what's...
I think it's like because I hold myself to a certain expectation to move a certain way.
Uh-huh.
That like because when we had regular classes, I would learn something, but the movements, it took some time for the movements to come out, so I get frustrated. And so,
Oh, I remember those days.
Yeah, so it was hard because I understood it in my mind, but the body
But the
didn't
body wasn't
reflect it.
cooperating.
Yeah,
Been
I
there,
was
done
super
that.
stiff. Yeah, so I think whenever, like, because the practices were reoccurring, my understanding of the concepts it was like this, but then my movement was at a slower
Wow.
slower
that weird?
trajectory. So it caused some like dissonance within myself whenever I came to class because I had this expectation that I understand it, why can't it come out? And it could be because I don't drill enough.
And the truth comes out.
She doesn't practice at home.
Yes, so I could be completely frank.
That could be the
That might
reason.
be
But I
might
mean, the
be
saving
extenuating
grace.
circumstances.
Yeah, the saving grace is that the way that these guys teach is so comprehensive and easy to understand, and the way the sort of analogies that they pull is not generic to every student. They really try to understand like my background in powerlifting and how those movements can translate into what my colleagues would be. So I think that's one of the reasons why, at least for today, I I don't know.
Yeah, you seem very comfortable today.
Yeah, I felt, yeah.
I was like, wow, she's just, you know, you're just, as a matter of fact, let me just beat the shit out of you guys.
I think it's because I released the expectations that I was as good as I was pre-pandemic, but then it's so ironic because I felt like I've never
You did
moved.
better?
I've never moved as natural. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I was like,
I didn't have to do any breathing exercises, you know. To,
Look,
like,
you let go of that and
Yeah.
you did better. Because even when I met you upstairs, I was like, was she always that tall? Like you genuinely look taller. Like you were just walking all casually, your shoulders
Yeah.
high, your head high. You're like, oh, hi. And I was like, oh, okay. She was this
you know,
tall?
it's been, I don't know, 18, 19 months. Let's give a little background on you because I'm sure all that time is gone. People
She
don't
got
really know-
married, had 4 kids. No, I'm kidding.
that's not true.
Well, you know, the thing is, because, you know, the family circle of the martial arts that we know, Dennis Duarte and Bob Gomez and Master Green, you saw them at the picnic that we had for the...
They
They had
asked
all
about you.
missed. They asked every
Yeah,
time we go
missed
somewhere, it's
them.
like, oh, where's Risa? Where's Risa? So, catch us up.
Yeah.
Let them know what you've been up to.
I recently moved to South Bay, so that's the reason I've been a little bit disconnected.
Okay.
But I'm excited to start this as a regular thing again. I think with the gym opening up too,
Yeah.
that helps.
Huge
Yeah.
help. Yeah.
Yeah. So it and I like being with a class too, like
Right.
personally, because you get a range of different types of people with different backgrounds. I could teach like very fundamental things to new students, and I can also learn from other levels as well. So
Yeah. You know,
it's
the
nice.
thing that has always amazed me about you is your eagerness to both learn and teach. You know, I mean, you had just said it just now, and I'm like, yeah, she does that. You know, you're so giving to the new students that you do take the time, even though you're not the instructor or anything, but you still make it a point to talk to each one. And you even ask, oh, is that a new kid? And this and that. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know, so you're going to start teaching more often, by the way.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Ate.
Yes, so you're going to be called that more and more frequently.
Yeah, I think, I mean, for me personally, the thing that kept me coming back was more of like the familial, like, relationships I have with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, as much as like I want to better myself too, but I think because like I'm actually friends with you and I see you as like my second family,
Right.
it makes
Aw.
coming back, even though I have this anxiety of like I need to perform a certain way, like I still want to hang out with you and learn.
Yeah, well, you know, and
I want to give that to new students too. I want them to feel like included, feel
Yeah.
like it's very open and very casual, not
Oh.
this like very stiff
Yeah, Mandy
dojo
thinks
ass.
you're awesome.
yeah, Mandy is in love with you. She was like,
She was taken by
first
you.
she was like, is Risa coming? Yeah, she'll be here later. Did you get to see her today? You missed her, right?
No, she missed.
Yeah, she is actually doing very well. She can
Yeah.
actually hit hard. You know, her power is coming
Yeah.
along. Kind of reminded me of you in the beginning. Very shy,
Jittery.
very like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
But now when you see her, she's like striking the power. So for us, anyways, as instructors, it's fun to see that change
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the student, you know, from this quiet, shy, meek, almost afraid,
Yeah.
to somebody who's like now confident. Just, oh, okay, I can play with these guys.
Yeah, and she's a power lifter too, which is wait, no, that's
No,
you.
that's her.
Sorry, that's you. We were talking about Mandy, right?
Mandy,
Oh,
yeah.
my bad.
Yeah.
It sounded very similar. Oh,
There was another person, right, that had a lifting background, or was it? just
was
you?
it? Oh yeah, Chloe, but she's in college. She's in
Yeah,
somewhere.
she's a
out of
powerlifter,
state.
gymnast, and
Yeah.
all-around
wow.
athlete. She's phenomenal.
Yeah, even at my heavy, she was able to just carry me like a baby. I was like, oh, this is crazy. And she's like, what, 5'2"?
Not even that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Super
she's
strong.
super strong. Yeah. Shout out.
You know, we're trying to get Marco back in here because he misses you too. Most recent, oh, she's great. Oh, I want to come back, but he's too busy doing movie stuff. So
Is that what he's doing?
Well,
Producing
well,
and directing?
No, he's not making any movies. That's classes he took for college.
Oh.
Doing film stuff.
Oh, that's super cool.
He's a filmmaker.
So I invited him to when we do the movie.
Oh, the
And
one
he's like,
thing?
oh my god, I'll go. So he's all
That's
excited
gonna be
about
fun.
that.
That should
Yeah.
be. Yeah,
You
that
can
should
train with him on set too.
There you go.
Yeah. That should be fun.
What else have you been up to?
Okay.
I've been lifting. I've been trying to get So it's not like I just took a break from poly, I also took a break from powerlifting just because the gyms
Right.
weren't open.
Yeah.
So right now, I think I'm taking the rest of the year just to get back to like my fundamental baseline.
Nice.
I'm just gonna take it slow, but I want to approach everything, like all of my fitness and martial arts, with a more relaxed, like take it at the speed that I need to, instead of having to like feel
Pressure yourself.
Yeah, because I'm
Because weren't you, was it 2-3 years ago, you were training for a competition, but like shortly before you injured yourself?
yeah. So yeah.
Was that because of the same thing?
The
That pressure you were putting on yourself?
Yeah, so I tend to wrap myself up whenever I like setting like deadlines or pushing myself, like doing competitions when
Right.
it's like there's no other females. Like I like the idea of doing that, but I do put a lot of pressure on myself to perform in the
Wow.
process. So sometimes I do take a risk of like overtraining. And for my meet, I think during that time I might have like did a slight strain to my lower back.
Ooh.
And it's a number of things. It could be mobility, lack
Right.
of sleep.
Stress.
Have we learned our lesson yet?
Yes. For me when I'm younger, and I think this is like a natural, young hobby athlete thing to do, is just to overdo it,
Yeah.
Right.
because you fantasize and you idolize the people in the industry that like.
So it seems
perform.
like in the last year and a half you've grown
Yeah.
or matured, I guess.
Yeah. I feel mature. Like I feel more comfortable with myself. I think if I could say that's like the thing that I've been doing in the past year and a half, is just kind of getting more comfortable within myself. So maybe that's why I come off more relaxed.
Yeah, because you
definitely
really do
Yeah.
seem a lot more relaxed.
No,
than you are.
congratulations.
Yeah.
That's
This is almost a different person, right?
well, it's a great accomplishment because there's people your age that still aren't comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
Not me though.
Not you. Oh God,
I'm
you're an anomaly in so many ways. But we're talking about Risa right now,
Yes,
her
we are.
accomplishments, because that is a difficult thing, and even now in the world, that mental health is such a big topic.
Oh yes,
It
definitely.
is
Especially now with the pandemic and all.
Oh
and
yeah,
everybody's
because everyone's
kinda-
there in their own heads going insane.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yes.
how did you keep yourself
Sane.
sane? Ish.
No, I'm still crazy.
I'm so crazy.
I'm with you guys. Oh, okay.
I'm like you.
That makes sense.
I just took, because I was going at full throttle before the pandemic. I needed to be at this place in my life at a certain time with everything.
Oh wow.
But then now it's like, because of this break, I didn't have access to a gym. I wasn't
Right.
training. I spent a lot of time with myself. So
Did you train at home at all, or?
a little bit, but
Yeah.
not as much as I like. I
Good,
tied
yeah.
I tied a string from my ceiling with a ball, and I trained like
Oh wow.
every once in a while.
We're gonna hook you up with Jasper.
Why?
Jasper Pagao. He does.
Oh, yeah.
He does Sunny Umpug's system. It's such a long name that I'm not even gonna try. But